That's interesting. I don't know if this is interesting. I got some new shoes. Beauty is pain. I think my heat might be too loud. And I put a brave face on. It's all about sincerity, isn't it? Things. Yeah, no, we were walking back from your house, and it's the first time that I've been to your house. And we were going, where were we going? We had 5 pizza, but we were in, walking back, and then I sort of grabbed you for a second. I called you aside, because I thought you were going to walk on a dead fox. Like, I thought there was like a dot of fox outside the road. And then I looked again and there was a fox. They had a sign on it, said that it had, somebody had informed council. They just randomly found a dead fox, but it was odd because the fox, it hadn't been hit by a car. And it wasn't old either. And that's why somebody had done it. It's because it had either contracted something or it just died of natural causes, but it was unlikely it was natural causes, so it was really quite disturbing actually. But there was just sort of this body on the side of the road. It's horrid. And then I proceeded to have a really nice evening with you. It's the strangest part. I don't know, just something to encounter something so dramatic, grotesque. You're having a good time, then it's slightly change it, but still continue having a good time anyway.
That's enough. You've had enough screen time.
Does it not explain?
Okay, we did it.
The train is currently boarding Hammersmith.
We were at the platform in Hammersmith,
Hammersmith.
waiting for the next train or something. Maybe it was a bus. I can't remember at the moment. It will come to me at some point. It's just I think I've forgotten about something. Shit. Tower rose out of the ground. While I was in London, I kept thinking about the fox at the side of the road. I don't know why. It just, there's something about it. I can't. Every time I see a fox now, I think about it. And it's interesting. I remember thinking about this at the platform while I was waiting for I forgot again.
I'm going to ask you to be my Valentine in about 5 minutes.
The crickets made sounds at the broken church ground. I couldn't wait to come back home. I asked Oskar to read a passage from my notebook once we were far away from Hammersmith. Go ahead.
The performance is about to start.
I'm interested in booking a heart transplant next week. Maybe put my heart in that wall over there, or next to that cabinet. I'd like to leave my teeth in the banister from when I tried taking a heavy chunk out of the home that raised my brothers and sisters. Then please leave the good mornings where you put them, on the corner, at the side, arguing with the chandelier forever. You should know better, friend. You should forget about the tentative bite taken out of the fence outside your place. This house is ours, but only for an allotted amount of time. The arguments have been stored in the bedroom cabinet, but only those painful to remember. We were having a conversation about change, and you explained this concept, that you wouldn't want to change for the while I'd accept you. What does that mean? The allotted time in which we're happy with each other and we don't need to change. I would not want any other version of your flightless laughter. Changeless, you called it.
I think the first time I ever saw Minecraft in any form was when I was watching YouTube as a kid, and I stumbled across this YouTuber called Electrical Beast. Hey, this is Electrical Beast,
Is that what it sounded like?
aka the Jolteon of Let's Plays, and welcome back to Let's Play Minecraft. And on the third episode, he was making a mine, because of course he was. This is one of the things you do after making a house. He was making his mine, but he forgot to. No, he built a wall around his house, but the wall wasn't tall enough. It was nowhere near tall enough, so mobs could just jump over from a ledge that was across from it. And at one point, a skeleton had jumped over the wall, and he thought he was completely safe. He thought he was all locked up, bunkered up, etc. And he got jump scared by a skeleton at the very end of the video. And I was watching it, and I must have been like 9 or 10 maybe, and I was just like, this is cinema. But I wasn't. I think I jumped too. But I was like, wow, I'm scared. This is fun.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, well, I think I'll start just by talking about my day and see where I end up. Like, I was so tired this morning. I missed two of my classes. I didn't bother going to this. I just thought, on the point I said earlier, I needed a day of rest. I need to acclimatise to my altitude, but also I did make it to one class which I just came from, and that was an English class on several short stories. And although they were quite simple stories, sections of stories, whatever, they all had something interesting to say about kind of the mundanity of life, the way that we kind of trudge between places, the beauty and the mundanity. I don't know, they were very reflective. And I don't know, I think sometimes they kind of, one in particular was almost like a lullaby. It kind of lulled you into the sleepiness of these people's lives, the horrors of it, the niceties, the relationships. And then you had all of these characters on the outside looking in, trying to piece together these people's lives. But in the end, those people's lives were their own. I don't know. I guess I'm clawing and clutching at how to go about my own life and to seize my own life in my own hands, and rather than to carry on making mountains out of molehills, to approach things individually and ask myself, what do I want to do today? What do I want to do today? I think life doesn't just stop, regardless of a mistake that we make, or regardless of if we don't do something, I should have done work today or I didn't. Life doesn't stop, and a useless day, so to speak, where you do nothing at all, is not actually a very productive day, because you're being productive by doing nothing. And I think people often try to go about life as if they need to be constantly doing something. And actually, you're doing something right now. You're doing life. Whatever you're doing, you are doing life, and it carries on. And I don't mean that in a comforting sense. It can also be quite in a terrifying way as well. Like life it carries on regardless of where you are or what you want. You could be having a complete breakdown, or you could be having the time of your life. Life keeps on going. And I think it's just an interesting fact about time,
It's got a film coming out soon. Looks shit.
Who'd you hire to be your stunt double?
Someone who looks like me. They have my vape.
I would forget Stephen as an only child. Not me and Oskar though. Can never forget that. It's been an interesting few weeks. A lot's happened. A lot of what feels like quite big things now. But I dare say, in the long term, will be insignificant. But we'll see, I suppose. Yeah, quite a lot's happened. I got an angry letter from my quite recent ex that was both sides of A4 wrapped around a pair of socks. I don't mean to make light of it, I suppose. It's fair enough, but it still caught me off guard. I was happy to see my socks, and then I read this letter, and most of it was wrong. But it's still not brilliant to have made someone so angry and disappointed. Which has been not the nicest thing to grapple with, but you live and you learn, I suppose. quite a lot of quite small irritating things have happened. I have to use these computers in the computer lab with a very specific piece of software on them, and there's only 2 in the whole uni that have this bit of software on them. And whenever I try to do work on them, half the time they don't work. I don't know why I mentioned that. I suppose I'm nervous to get to the main thing. Sorry, that was I watching 2 slugs try to talk to each other. If one of the slugs was trying to pass a cigarette to the other slug. Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of relationship stuff going on recently. Most of it, I'm happy to say, is quite nice. You know? And actually, to be fair, I mean, the stuff I've been going through isn't bad as such. It's, I mean, I made the decision to not see one of my friends for a while because I don't feel, or I didn't, I'm not really sure anymore, but I didn't feel over her. But then that's not, I've not had like a rough time, like I've thought about her, you know, and I've quite a lot, you know, and I've pretended to write letters to her that I'm never going to send, but it's nice to get the stuff down, you know, out of my head. But again, I don't, like, it's not the happiest situation in the world. Like, it is quite sad, and I do miss her. But I don't particularly feel sad either, you know. It's kind of, I'm using the word enlightened, no, in obviously the whitest possible way of kind of just like emotions, but not in a psychopathic way, you know, just kind of calm, because realistically the only thing I can really do is kind of wait and not egg it along. You know, you can in getting over someone, there are things you can do that are detrimental. You know, you can stalk their social media, you can try to be around them as much as possible. I'm not saying I particularly did either of those things, but you know. But then I'm not sure there's much you can do to actively push it along either. I feel like it's quite a passive process, or at least I bloody hope it is, because that's what I've been doing. You know, I've been waiting for time to do its thing, and I hope it does. You know, I feel like I've had quite an alright life. There's nothing really that's happened that I can't just kind of wait to resolve itself. And I think this is one of them, you know. God, if the only thing I need to do is sit in my room or in my pants and play video games, I'm happy to do that. And I'm looking forward to it being over and being friends with her again, or not. We'll see. I guess. I guess it's a question of sincerity, you know. It's all about sincerity, I suppose. It was quite interesting. She said she was surprised by how mature I was, and I'm not sure how to take that, because I do like to think I give quite a youthful, hyper vibe. I guess it's quite nice. Or is it? No, it is nice. Like, I'm not offended. I guess it's quite nice in the sense that I give off a carefree vibe. Maybe. I don't know, I've just been thinking about it. But it's nice to at least one person thinks I'm emotionally mature, you know. That's quite nice. It's a nice feeling. I don't even think my parents think I'm emotionally mature, but I don't think they think I'm mature anyway, so there's that. Yeah. The weather has been fitting for my emotional state. It's been cloudy, but not raining, which I think is quite apt. Yeah. Never had an audience before.
Omen?
Omen? Good. Good Omens. Starring David Tennant and Michael Sheen. I don't know, is Omen, have I missed some new and exploded lore? Is there a quote sounds good? I'm glad. Yay.
That's definitely an omen.
That was a sign from God. Yeah, I'm optimistic. I really am. God agrees with me on that. No, I am. I'm optimistic. I mean, as I was saying, I'm not sure there's much to do beyond kind of just wait and be patient. And there's a real serenity in that. You know, it's out of my hands, which I think about a lot. What I try to do is, if there's something I want, say for instance, to be with a non-specific person, then, you know, I want to feel as though I've done as much as I can without being overbearing, whatever. Like, I just feel like you reach a certain point where you can only do so much, and then it's like in God's hands, right? It's for the universe to decide whether that happens or not. And if it doesn't, that sucks. But you know, at least you tried, without being a knob about it, you know. And I try to extend that to a lot of things. As silly as this sounds, there's an episode of, and I know you're going to hate me for this, of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where Mac says something about God's plan, and that's locked in, so we're all sorted. I genuinely think about that quite a lot, of like, I can set something in motion, and as soon as that's locked in, I can just kind of coast along and wait for it to finish. Like, it's such a silly throwaway line from such a, frankly, overrated show, but I genuinely think, oh, it's locked in, I'm sorted. I think about it quite a lot. You know, you get that point where you've done all you can, and then you just kind of wait for things to pan out, either way. And I think that's reasonably healthy.
It's all about sincerity, isn't it?
It is. It is all about sincerity. And I'm sorry for saying that earlier.
It's okay.
Yeah. See, that was sincere. And that's what it's all about.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. Oh, I am okay. I think. I feel as though recently a real weight has come off my shoulders, and I genuinely feel elated. It's nice.
Hey Fred,
Yeah?
since the wind picked up as you said that, would you like to say it again?
No. Yes, I'd love to say that again.
Okay, hang on. Gotta wait for God to decide.
It's locked in.
Might be. Right. Go ahead.
I feel as though in the past few weeks a real weight has come off my shoulders. You know, I feel